to try to keep you awake for this. So again, welcome to the Air Canada Defined Benefit Pension Seminars. We'll go through, you're going to get a lot thrown at you, so bear with us, okay? There's a lot to go through. Basically, we're going to go through introduction, plan details and options, post-retirement benefits, which should be of interest to everybody, obviously. We're going to talk about CPP and OAS, so Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security, as well the retirement application and process. Now, just out of curiosity, does anyone have retirement impending, let's say within the next 6 months?
Oh, not 6 months, no.
Okay, year?
Maybe later.
Okay, year? Next 3 to 4 years? Okay, so then, basically this group's a good group then, so this should be pertinent information. So I've got 3 years, I can't wait. Was our clicker already kicked out on us?
It's shy.
This is a shy clicker. All right, so basically, welcome questions at any time, but bear with us. If we're on one topic, odds are the question's on the next slide, so just be patient. We're going to go a bit through the definition and plan rules, pension options, survivor benefits, calculations, where to find information on Aeronet, post-retirement benefits, and government benefits. So it's a full presentation. What you have in the booklet, if you don't have one, I recommend you get one. Everything we present here is in the booklet, and there's a lot of good resources in that booklet, whether it be emails, phone numbers, things of that nature, okay? All right, about our pension plan. So obviously this is a defined benefit pension plan. It's federally regulated. These are all just government agencies here. Falls under the Pension Benefit Standard Act, Income Tax Act. This is in our collective agreement, okay? So it's also, there is also a pension plan text which you can access on Aeronet. And all 4 documents define the rules and admin of our plans, okay? So there's a lot to it, and we're going to try to simplify it for you all. You do have a defined benefit pension committee or pension committee, which we are in the CBA, collective bargaining agreement. Right now the Vancouver spot is vacant. I hope they fill that soon. I haven't heard of any talk of that yet.
No.
Filling it, anyway. In Calgary and Edmonton, Chad is the member. Winnipeg is Stephen, and you also have a finance member in Miranda. Just started to work with Stephen. I've worked with Miranda for a couple of years now. Toronto members, myself. Montreal members, Roberto. Halifax, we have Sean. He's new. He's really good. We also have a general chairperson that sits on the committee, which is Mr. Lipsit, who was a member of the pension committee since 2015.
2015, yes.
All right. And our retiree representative, who is also the chairperson of the committee, is Christopher Hiscock, who is still the president of 764 out in Vancouver. So that is the group. There's also 3 company members, and that's an ever-revolving door of company members. The pension committee monitors the pension plan admin and financial performance. We are blessed with meeting with the company twice per year. Generally, one of those meetings is in person in Montreal in headquarters. And I generally find they try to do that as absolutely quickly as possible now. So, obviously we advocate for members with problems, issues. So obviously where you're located, you want to be reaching out to Miranda if you're in finance, and Stephen if you're TMOS, okay? And generally we have avenues that you don't have to deal with member issues or your problems, okay? So don't hesitate. We review financial reports and performance. We also hold a 4-3 vote on the committee for matters of administration, and we must approve all changes to the plan text. So the company cannot unilaterally change the plan text. So that gives us quite a bit of protection. Air Canada pension plans. Air Canada sponsors 7 different defined benefit pension plans. It's called the Master Trust Fund, MTF. Don't make up your own acronym, okay? The MTF holds the assets of all the pension plans. Investments are actively managed. Market value of the MTF right now is $20.4 billion. Wrap your head around that for a minute. That's a big number. Okay? Assets are held in trust. In increase. You're looking at about almost a 3% increase from 2023, so that's good. Assets are held in trust, CIBC Mellon, or they're not available to the company or creditors. So, contrary to popular belief, the company cannot go out and buy aircraft with that $20 billion. Okay? It's safe. That money is solely for the payment of member benefits and administration costs of the plan. All right? So all IMAW members are in a single pension plan. We own almost 30% of the assets. So our portion is almost $6 billion from that $20 billion. Okay? So we got a big chunk. And I gotta go one more. So right now, to give you an idea of the scope of the plan, thanks for coming, guys. We have 48,629 members in all the defined benefit plans, okay? So we have 12,387 active and 36,242 pensioners, survivors, and deferred. So it's a massive number. Our portion is a bit smaller, obviously. Our portion of that for the IMAW, our plan is 17,317 members. Interestingly, only 3,935 active. Wrap your brain around that for a minute, okay? We have 13,103 pensioners, survivors, and deferred. So obviously, the number of active in the plan that are actually contributing is shrinking, and those of us that are retired is rapidly growing, okay? The active average age, 52.8, and average service is 20.3 years. So I look at this is interesting to me because I'm bang on, I'm 52, but I'm working on 27 years, so I'm a little bit out of the average in the years. Now, pensioner survivors in age, the average pensioner and survivor age is 74, and their annual pension is $28,400. Okay. Funding rate now, 156% funded with a surplus of $2.143 billion. That's our portion. The Master Trust Fund funding is 150% with a surplus of almost $7 billion. So we're looking at some major surpluses here. Everything is quite healthy, which is good to see. And this is an interesting number. This is the total payout of all the defined benefit plans, not just us. Almost 900 million. So that first number looked really big, the 20 billion, but paid out almost 900 million. Okay? We're talking big dollars. So terms and rules we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about service, allowable, qualifying, and continuous. We're going to talk normal retirement. We're going to talk early retirement, disability pension, termination benefits, survivor options, higher to 65 options, which I like, pensionable earnings, and the YMPE, which Chris likes to talk about. All right, service. Air Canada services from date of hire. KALE service from date of pension plan membership. Just out of curiosity, show of hands, was anybody here actually in the KALE pension plan? Are we all AC? No KALE? Okay, just checking. They have slightly different formula, that's why I asked. Previous Air Canada service, you can buy it back. Pre-employment military service buyback. Maternity, paternity leave, other leaves covered under the Canada Labour Code, you can buy that back. And then you have approved layoff or furlough avoidance leaves, the DPLP or the SVLOA. That does not include, obviously, it includes the approved layoff. Service continued. All full months on GDIP or WCB, you get a higher benefit, so you get 2% of all your earnings for full months, which is great. No contributions are required. You're credited with those earnings, okay? And yes, you can retire directly from GDIP or WCB.
I got a
will-
question real quick for you.
Yep.
Sorry. On the previous screen, you had previous Air Canada service buyback.
Yep.
If you were previous Air Canada and you were gone past the 7-year callback and you've been terminated, can you still buy that back or no?
You can try.
I tried looking for somebody, they said you can't.
No, probably not.
Normally, when you have the option to buy back, they will actually send you the paperwork
Okay.
if you're eligible.
Okay.
So generally, if they don't send you anything, you're deemed not eligible.
Okay.
But never hurts to ask,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, typically buyback is only when they legally have to offer you.
Correct.
Okay.
For the one exception, of course, that came up a lot recently was with ODS. You were allowed to buy back ODS time, but not layoff time.
Yep.
Copy.
Okay, good question. Qualifying service accounts for service in multiple plans and determine milestone dates and pension options. Allowable service determines money, okay? Qualifying and allowable service is calculated in whole months. So 1 day or more service in a calendar month equals 1 month. Service cannot exceed 35 years, okay? Oh, getting ahead of myself. Normal retirement. So the first day of the month following your 65th birthday, no reductions apply regardless of service, and Air Canada has eliminated mandatory retirement age 65. That actually came from a pilot lawsuit way back when. That's where that stems from. So they can't force us out the door anymore. So early retirement, I'm just going to get this up. So early retirement, this is what intrigues me, 25 years of qualifying service, or 80 points of age in qualifying service, and age 55 or greater, and with the consent of Air Canada, which we will delve into consent, don't worry. You are eligible for retirement anytime after attaining 25 years or 80 points, but you're subject to that bloody actuarial reduction from age 65 if you're under age 55. Okay? So basically, if you're 55 or over and have your 80 points, you're not going to eat the penalty. Consent provision. I've heard a lot of talk about this. And you even see it on Aeronet. They'll announce that consent has been provided for early retirement and retirement. That's not packages being announced. My email always lights up with that. No. This is Air Canada agrees they're not going to deny consent for an unreduced pension payable from age 55 and 80 points for the life of the collective agreement. So right now we're good till March 31st, 2026. Consent is contained in the collective agreement. Again, this consent is for all members who attain age 55 and 80 points during the life of the collective agreement. This consent provision will be renewed with each successive collective agreement, and basically that's just a rubber stamp as far as I'm concerned. Because again, the consent provision is for actuarial purposes and is included in all Air Canada pension plans except pilots, because, well, they're special. But you don't have to worry about consent to retire. It's going to be there, okay? Pension options. Higher to 65, so available for retirements prior to age 65. So 25 years of qualifying service or greater than 80 points. This provides a higher pension till age 65 and a lower pension after age 65. So what this does basically, say I go out the door at 55 and I choose the higher to 65 option. I'm going to make more per month, but I'm borrowing against my own pension. So I might go up $300 or $400 a month, but then at age 65, I have to start paying that money back, okay? The problem is, if I live to 102, even after I've paid that initial money back, you stay at that lower level, okay? So the higher to 65, you drop at 65 and you never go back up. So the maximum increase is capped at the full 2% year of allowable pensionable service. We're still talking about option higher to 65. This does not impact your government pension plans. It's not tied to when you take your CPP or OAS. And obviously it will affect the pension of your surviving spouse. I will say this, it's not officially connected to CPP or OAS, But what a lot of people choose to do is take the higher to 65 to hold off taking their CPP. Then they use the CPP to kind of make up the difference. Disability retirement. Eligible after 15 years of qualifying service. Payable as if age 65, no reductions. So this is very unique, the disability retirement. You do not eat the early retirement penalty for leaving early, okay? CPP, QPP, so disability benefits are still available. Your survivor benefits still payable to your spouse. The application and instructions are on AeroNet. You can actually get this form online. It's ACF 86A. The member, you have to initiate the process and submit a detailed medical report of disability. Consent is not required for disability pensions. I will say this. I've probably had maybe 20 people I know in Toronto apply for a disability pension using this. Not a single one of them has been successful. Not a single one. I don't know if you...
No, there's been no one in Halifax. We've had people apply, even people Air Canada is trying to force off on disability. They're trying not to give them the disability retirement. Definitely don't count on it. There is paperwork. You can try to apply if you know someone who's in dire need. But I've basically been told that you're never going to get, Air Canada's going to find something that they're going to say you can do to come back to work before they offer a disability retirement.
Yeah, basically they will lie you down and run a stamp over your tongue, like they will do something to make you work, okay? So it is there, but we don't have a very good success rate for it. All right. So this is applicable to all retirements, or early retirement termination reduction. Applicable to all retirements and terminations prior to attaining both age 55 and 80 points and consent. So we're talking about if you decide to leave before 55 and you're 80 points. This is the reduction that I would say you probably don't want to see. It's an actuarial reduction calculated solely on age at retirement and termination, less than age 65. The actuarial reduction is approximately 6% compounded, so it counts down from 65. We have a chart, we'll go through it. The actuarial reduction also factors in the interest rate at the date of retirement, termination compounded. It's calculated in whole calendar months, but the big issue is it's approximately 6% per year. It compounded. This gives you an idea. So if I leave at 54, I'm going to lose 49% of my pension. Okay? Again, this is assuming I don't have my 80 points. You can see if I go at 45, I'm losing 71% of my pension. So the moral of the story here, unfortunately, is you don't really want to retire early and take these penalties. People say, why is it so severe? Basically, if there was no penalty, we'd all be retiring early and everybody would be pulling their money out. Okay, that's the sad truth of the matter. But you can just take a gander. Even at 64, you're losing 6%. And then again, you can see it's pretty drastic, okay? And again, this is your simple 6% compounded. Terminations. If you have not met the requirement milestones of 25 years of qualifying service or 80 points or age 65, you have a couple options. You have options for cash refund, commuted value transfer, deferred unreduced pension, or immediate reduced pension. Okay? So being eligible for an immediate reduced pension, in other words, you're under 70 points or under age 55, you do not qualify as a retiree. The applicable options are dependent upon your age and qualifying service at your date of termination. Termination options. So 10 years prior to an unreduced pension, or less than 70 points, or age 55. I'm sure you've all heard the term lump sum. It was big during the ERIP days. That's your commuted value transfer. Or, again, you can leave early and not take a penalty by just doing a deferred pension. You just take your pension at 65. Okay? The commuted value transfer option, so yes, effective December 1st, 2022, the CVT, which is the commuted value transfer, is available to all members who terminate prior to the early retirement, regardless of age. So this option continues to be available after termination, but before payment of pension and before eligibility to an unreduced pension. So the CVT amount can increase or decrease over time. We'll go over it. You can actually pull this up on Aeronet to see your lump sum. It's not hidden. You used to have to call to get that number. Now you don't have to. Combinations of age and service, 70 points. Options for either a commuted value transfer, an immediate reduced pension, or deferred unreduced pension. So again, you can defer to 65 to avoid the penalty.